Good evening, beautiful people. So, getting started on the next meal prep. So, I like to have some of the spices and things out that I know I'll be using. Kind of takes up space, but it's not a big deal. We'll survive. It's not the worst thing in the world. Just started cooking the rice literally just now. So, we're gonna need that for tomorrow. So, always try to use day old rice or at least have the rice be dried out. You know, frozen rice can work too, but I just don't feel like frozen rice would be that good. So, I guess it really doesn't make a difference at the end of the day, right? Whatever's more convenient and cost effective or whatever the reason is, so, you know, just do your thing. So let's get started with things. So right now we're going to be working on the veggies for the big boy chili. So let's go ahead and get some of that stuff. We're going to need, strangely enough, we only need like one potato, I think. I don't know why I thought that thing was messed up for a second. It's like 1.5 potatoes, so nothing too major. And I'm gonna try to cut through a little bit more stuff just because I don't want to have another like, excuse me, like hour and a half long video. That was very pointless, I feel like. So, but anyway, potatoes, large die. I think you know the point, and all that good stuff. So, just getting things ready to rock. Competition is about 2 weeks away, which is always exciting. But those last final prep days are, I'm not going to lie to you guys, are not very exciting to me. I am not too keen on that just because it's going to be less working out, and then I feel like it's going to mess with me mentally about like what I should be eating, how much I should be eating. And again, I'm probably thinking too much into it, truthfully, but it just kind of has its little run of the course on me in that sense. So, and I don't know how many people, I feel like a lot of people will really relate to it, but just working out is a big part of the day throughout the week for me. So the fact that I'm not going to be doing it as much until the day of the competition really sucks. Like that's the part I really don't like about comps, is just the fact that there's going to be that downtime. And of course it's understandable. You want to rest and be fully prepared for the competition up ahead. It's just, I don't know, man. Not for me in that sense. But I'll still do it, obviously, because I love to compete. It's so far been a great time. I have no complaints about it. But I just wish there was ways to continue forward with it while still keeping up a pretty hefty routine. But yeah, anyway, I'm just kind of complaining at this point. So we're cutting these into large dice, and I should probably get my little container out, huh? But yeah, so I'm gonna cut half of that one there, and then put that away. Gonna get the garlic out next. All right, so we're about like part way through mincing the garlic. Got about 27 grams in total here. And we're gonna mix these with the potatoes there. So recipe calls for the potatoes and garlic to be thrown together. So that's what we'll do. Make life easier, keep things, or use as minimal cooking equipment as possible. We're gonna keep things together as best as we can. So if it says put potatoes and garlic in at the same time, then we're going to store them in the same container too. So, I'm doing this really poorly tonight, but it's fine. It's coming along pretty well. But, you know, I've been thinking about socializing a bit more. Probably got to start doing that, huh? I don't know. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. Like, I obviously talk to people at the gym. I have my friends there and stuff like that. But it's mostly just like the gym friends that you really see there. It'd be cool to hang out with them outside of the gym too, but it's also a lot of effort I gotta put into socializing. And I just don't really feel like doing that sometimes. Or majority of the times, I should say. But, okay, got that done. Let's put that away. And I think we're working on the onions next. Damn, I'm sweating today. You know, so on the weekends now, I've been kind of making my own separate meals because the meal preps don't always make it to that point, right? To where like they get it to Saturday and Sunday. Some of them do, some of them don't. So in the times that I think I already pre-cut this. I did. This was from last week. In the times where I don't have like a meal prep for the weekend, right? One thing I do is I just make my own meals that day. Not a big deal. And I think I said before that in one of my other videos, I went to Costco, which, by the way, I have my own Costco card now. That's pretty lit. And I had thought I got boneless, skinless chicken thighs for $10. Turns out it was bone-in. Womp womp. Oh well. But what I've been doing with that, so I don't, let it go to waste, is I just eat it on the weekends. I kind of put some, what did I put on it? Like salt, pepper, smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, and then bake that in the oven for like 40 minutes or something like that. Comes out really good. But I think I'm having an issue with the fat content because my stomach is really not feeling good right now. I had it tonight. If you're wondering. And my stomach is just not feeling good. It's cooked. I made sure it was cooked. So it's not, well, I hope it's not salmonella, but, mistakes happen, but I'm positive it's not that. I just think there's just a high amount of fat in there that I'm not used to eating. And it just is kind of taking its toll on my body right now, which I am not a big fan of. So, okay, that seems good enough. I need 300 grams of onions, so we're probably gonna need a little bit more than this. We're gonna be using poblano peppers and some green onions with this dish too. Oh, and some jalapenos. I don't get to use jalapenos too often, so I'm very excited for that. So let's measure this out. All right, so the onions are done. 300 grams exactly, which is excellent. And I'm not crying because of the onions. It's because of the global state of the economy and how everything's just in shambles right now. That's my real problem. Also, look how big these suckers are. Yeah, it's freaking solid. Like, look at this. I don't know what genetic modification they did, but I'm freaking for it. Rice is done. I'm for it, man. Let's freaking make more of this. It means there's just less things to cut, so I'm all about it. I don't care what genetic thing, anabolic stuff they got going in here, man. I'm for it. Oh, and I need to learn to cut peppers a lot thinner than what I normally do. I just get lazy. Oh, man. Gotta cut the green onions too, and I think those also make you cry. I don't really cook with a lot of green onions a lot, but I've noticed I've been cooking a lot more with them. Oh. Let's see. Excellent. That should come out to a nice small die. So all the onions and peppers are going to be going together, so they're definitely going to be going into that one bowl that you see there. If you can see it, I'm actually not entirely sure. But they're going to be all pretty much in a small, well, technically the poblano should have been in a medium dice, but I like them in a small dice. When it comes to this recipe, I prefer them in a small dice. Really no big deal. But truthfully, with the way I cut them, some of them do come out in a medium dice, so it works out. Yay. Excellent. So we're going to be cutting one more of these, because I only really needed two. Right? Yeah, 300 grams of a medium poblano. These seem large, but Lord knows this is probably what a medium really looks like. All right, so let's get to that. This recipe calls for like 2 medium jalapenos, and then says like 30 grams. 40 grams. Something tells me these are not medium jalapenos. Still, I love it. Let's get to this. So I think with these ones, cut them a little bit differently because they're so small. I tend to make a little surgical incision down the center here. Open these up, and I like to clear the seeds through here. Now, if I'm correct, I think the seeds are what gives it the heat, because I've eaten the shell and not wanted to die internally. And granted, I do like spicy food, but when it's just like the pepper by itself, it's kind of boring, you know what I mean? So, I only need 40 grams of this. Maybe this isn't 40 grams, who knows? And if it's not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep some of the seeds from this one. Because obviously it's a bit too late to put the seeds, from this one. But, and I think my goal with a lot of these videos is just to have mostly the cooking portions and slicing and stuff like that. and not have so much dead air, like when I'm looking at a recipe not saying anything, because even I freaking fall asleep to that, you know what I mean? So making sure, just adding all the main stuff. Oh, this is, wow, this is pretty, yeah, it's pretty much 40 grams. Wow, okay, we'll keep that. So now we have an extra jalapeno. We can use that as a little garnish. We'll dice that up into little slices, and then just put that in there. And then, yeah, just put that on top of the chili once it's all done. So cool, we were pretty much good on that. And you know what I just realized? That's pretty much it for the, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not. I lied to you. I lied to all of you. Just, whatever, we ball. Put that away. We still have the green onions. We only need 40 grams of this. So, my bad. Kind of forgot about that. But, because I don't know. I don't really care for green onions. Again, they're mostly a garnish from what I understand. Some recipes sure use them, and I guess this is one of them. But I don't think I actually added green onions last time. But whatever, not a big deal. Just put it in now. And this is super simple. I will say what's nice about it is you don't really need to do much. And I don't think I'm going to put the whites. We'll save that for another recipe. Oh, you know what? We can save that for the, because we're doing the sweet potato ham bake instead of the protein oatmeal bake. So for once, I'm not going to have a protein oatmeal bake next week. That's going to be a first time in genuinely, I think, almost a year. I've literally been eating the protein oatmeal bake for at least 6 months. At least, I've got to say. Where are we at? Yeah, it's good enough. I think I'm short a little bit, but no, we're on. Oh wow, we're perfect on it. All right, today is a good day, and that's pretty much the big prep for the chili, at least in terms of the vegetable stuff. Everything else, like the tomatoes and kidney beans and beef broth, that's just going to be done tomorrow. So we don't have to worry about anything else, which is great. Gives me more time because if you remember from the last sweet potato ham bake, I have to shred the damn sweet potato on that stupid little grinder thing. And that sucks. There's got to be an easier way. There's got to be a better tool or something than that, right? Regardless, that's what we're going to do. We're going to save that for last, though, because we got to do some lemon zest with this next one. But first, let's get to it. All right, so this next recipe is going to call for 9 medium potatoes. And we're just going to take the half potato we had last time and put all these other ones in there. So whatever, not a big deal. So, gotta get these things out, wash them up, and then dice these bad boys. So, let me just get everything a little prepped out real quick. We're also gonna be using the bag because it's a lot of potatoes. It's a lot of potatoes, so yeah, it's not gonna fit in the bowl. We'll save that for something that we can actually manage in there. All right, so I've been kind of cutting like 2 of them, or that half and a full one. Just kind of wanted to point out that I'm doing more quarter moons, so I'm kind of cutting it at a bias. I think that's what that means by quarter moons. I think the last time I did this, I just cut it straight across, like no big deal. So again, I don't really think it matters too well. I guess this could, doing it in correct quarter moons can give you like a little more optimal browning, but again, I don't think it's that big a deal. So, and super small pieces, we kind of just toss those because admittedly, they're probably not going to be too big of a deal at the end of the day. Cool. All right, but yeah, for the most part, that's kind of what we're going to be doing with these. So we'll cut on to the next thing. Really, oh, I got to record. I keep forgetting to record with my phone. So kind of do that real quick too. Damn, so I'm like halfway through a lot of these potatoes and I need 2,100 grams and I am at, thank you, I am at 821 grams. So, well, we'll see if we have enough. If we don't, that's not a big deal because what's going to happen since we got to put these in the oven, it's going to kind of overcrowd, so they're not going to get the most optimal browning. I mean, it is what it is, as long as it's cooked accordingly. So that's really the main concern for me. Same thing with the broccoli. With how much broccoli we're using, we are not going to get optimal browning. But we are going to use two of those other sheet pans like we did last time. So see how things come out. That's kind of the rough part when you're cooking with a lot of meals, which, by the way, if you're wondering, with the lemon garlic turkey bowl, it's because I'm making 14 servings this time around. So I'm going to be having the lemon garlic turkey bowl for lunch, the big boy chili for the pre-workout meal, and then lemon garlic turkey for dinner, and so on and so forth. So just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that part there. You know, I'm thinking about excuse me, making some last minute changes. Instead of having 2,100 grams of potatoes, I think what I'm going to do instead is, because we're not going to be working out as much next week, I think what I'm going to do instead is just have maybe like 1,000. You know what I mean? I think that might be the better move to make in terms of like everything going on. Maybe 1,500's the move to go. Where would that get me? So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad move, you know what I mean? And I think overall it would help, because again, if I'm not going to be training as much that day, then, you know, what is the point, right? So let's see, 380. You know what? We'll go to 1,500. We'll go to 1,500, and then, yeah, be good there. So yeah, I think that's the smarter move. That way I can still, you know, not worry too much about my weight for comp and stuff. I like that. I like that. Also, this thing needs to just figure itself out. All right, so we put that away. It was a hefty bag of potatoes, and those, excuse me, only 1,500. Imagine what 2,100 would have been. So now we just gotta mince some more garlic. I think you guys already know the gist on that thing. So let me just get through this, because I gotta mince a lot for this one. It's like 18 cloves, like 60 grams. So let me just get through that real quick. You know, I actually lost my train of thought. Kind of lost my train of thought there. I don't know what was going on in my head. Why do I have two of these? Oh, right. Lemon zest, lemon juice. Damn, I had a thought, but I think that thought is gone now, unfortunately. But yeah, weird. Well, anyway, I'm going to be getting some lemon zest and lemon juice out of these things. I also bought a crap ton of lemons because, you know, why not? This is a little schoolishy. We're probably not going to use this one. We can get the zest off it, though. We'll do that. We'll get the zest off this one, but probably not going to juice this bad boy. Oh, I should probably remove the sticker too, huh? Might be a good move there. You know, we're just not going to use it. How about that? We'll use it for something tomorrow, not with the main meal preps, where things should be as fresh as possible, in my opinion. But yeah, so get some lemon zest. You don't need a lot, 15 grams, really not too much in this thing. To be honest with you, I don't even really like weigh this one out. It's lemon zest. Like, what calories are going to be in that? It's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be like freaking oil, right? Where a little tablespoon's like 120 calories, something like that. You just need enough to get into the dish. No big deal. The main thing you're looking for is the lemon juice. That's sort of the stuff that you got to be a little more keen on. So that should be more than enough, I feel like. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more from these lemons. No big deal. And be cautious when you're like doing this. You don't want to get to the white part. I mean, you do want to get to the white part, but you don't want to be scraping the white part, because that's going to be a little too bitter. So in order to avoid that, just don't go so hard. Right? You still want to get enough in there, but once you see the white part coming out, go ahead and swap over, or just continuously turn it like this. Easy enough. And the reason we're putting it into like those smaller containers is, one, no reason to have all like a little bit of stuff in a big container like this, and two, this is where the sweet potato ham bake's going to be. That's more than enough. That's perfect. So we'll transfer this to one of those and start juicing that. Oh man, so let's see how this comes out. I don't think these are very, oh, there's a good amount of juice coming out in there. We need 180 grams. Let's see if we can get that in here. Might need a bigger container. Oops, oops. Please, no. Yeah, we're probably gonna need a bigger container, but I mean, we'll see. Could be coming out pretty well, so. I swallowed a seed, I'm so sorry. Oh wow, I just like swallowed like a crap ton of seeds in that. But yeah, you get the point of what we're doing, so. So I'm still squeezing here, as you can obviously see, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough for 180 grams. What we do have though, ooh, that was a lot of juice in that one. What we do have is a little bit of like, what the hell is that? A little bit of like a pre-juiced lime juice? Like just lime juice in a bottle, essentially, is what it is. I should have just said that. We have lime juice in a bottle. And so if I don't have enough, what I'm going to do is just put some of that in there. I feel like the lime juice in a bottle just isn't as good, though. Like, some things you can get away with being frozen or in, like, already, like, pre-squeezed or bottled, but I feel like lime juice is just one of those things that you can't really get away with. Like, it'll be pretty obvious, but we'll see. Yeah, so we're short by like 8 grams, so this is what I mean, like the lemon juice. So shook it up, you know. It just doesn't taste the same. But we'll put a little bit in there just to get to the 180 mark. And yes, I did switch cups. I'm wondering if the acidity is going to mess with the cup though. I hope not. Still, we're done with that. So let's see what else we have left. I think that's actually it. Yeah, that seems to be it. So because we just have the potatoes, which are already done, the broccoli's frozen, so we'll put that together tomorrow. It's going to be cooked in the oven. Rice is done. Garlic cut, lemon juiced, lemon zest, dried oregano. That's just spices, yada yada yada. So yeah, we're seem to be pretty good right now. So all that's left next is to grind the sweet potato. That's going to be fun. I like that meal, which is why I do it. I just hate grinding that stupid thing. But anyway, let's get to that. Oh, and I'd just like to say my legs are ruined from this run today. The hell is this? Is this not a sweet potato? Why is it white? Wait. This is not a sweet potato. What did I grab? Is there such thing as a red potato? What did I grab? Well, I guess we're using this. It's just a red potato. I was gonna say it looked a little bit different from what I normally get. All right. I don't know how much of a nutritional difference this will be. I mean, I guess we'll just see. So, well, that sucks. I mean, it is what it is. Nothing to really complain about too much. Maybe this is another version of a sweet potato or something. I'm just trying to find ways to cope right now is kind of what I'm doing. But just work with what you got. It's not the end of the world. Cool. So come on, boy. Oh, not everything is shredded. There we go. Let's try to get as much as you can. Get this thing as clean as possible. All right. So, damn, that's gonna bother me, but what are you gonna do? So, we just need 300 grams of this. Let's see if we even get 300 grams from this. If we don't, not a big deal, but it would just be nice to be consistent with everything, you know what I mean? So, just hope for the best. Oh, forgot, this thing's gonna be a pain in the ass to grind here. Grind right here. And of course, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to grind the whole thing to get 300 grams. So let me just do that real quick. And we're done. We got a little bit extra, and there's of course a freaking mess because just this isn't so easy. I need to get a more stable table. I need to get something where I can just lay this thing on and just grind away on it without it shaking or sliding. I think the move is maybe to put a tissue paper under it, maybe put a rag, something, anything, to be quite honest with you. So, but it's fine. We got it done. 300 grams of whatever unknown fruit, vegetable this is. So hopefully it comes out well. If it ruins the meal prep, I'm going to be a little upset, but I'm already prepping for that. It's just not going to be the best thing in the world, which is okay. And hey, you never know. It might be the best thing in the world. This might be a good little change of pace. So 300 grams ready to go. Now, at this point, it's just really getting everything nice and cleaned up. So yeah, we're done with the prep. We're done pretty early. That only took like, I think, what, 20, 40 minutes, potentially? Not entirely sure, I wasn't paying attention. Maybe an hour, actually. I don't know, time flies when you're prepping stuff. I enjoy it, I think it's really fun, so I'm not gonna complain too much. I will complain about this though, like just doing that specific thing. I feel like I could get maybe a food processor. That might make my life easier, but I don't know, man. I'm just here. Where's the lid? Thank you. Keep that down there. Cool. So we'll save that for tomorrow. We'll cut the green onions and the ham steak tomorrow as we normally do. So, oh, you know what? That's what I was going to talk about. What am I going to prep first? I think I'm going to prep the chili first. That might be the big brain move. Or maybe I should prep the garlic, the turkey bowls first. Actually, now that I think about it. And my reasoning behind it is, okay. And my reasoning behind that is because I think since I'm using the oven the most with that one, it would be better to get that out of the way. That way, once it's done, I can just do the chili. And as the chili's going, I can do the ham and egg bake, right? So get the turkey stuff out of the way. That way I have the oven to use, because I'm not going to use the oven at all for the big boy chili, right? It's not going to be needed for that. It's just going to be a stove, a big pot, essentially. So I think we should do turkey first, get the main meals out of the way. That way, in case I don't make it in time and I have to leave by 10 o'clock, I can just do the ham and egg bake a bit later. So I think that's exactly what I'm going to do, now that I think about that. So we're gonna finish cleaning up. I'm just finishing up my thoughts right now. So we'll do that for tomorrow, and hopefully I can remember to do that for tomorrow. But yeah, so all right guys, kind of finish this up right now. I just gotta clean up and put everything away. See you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is, what, 4:38, something like that in the morning? So not bad, considering, you know, the time change and everything of that sort. So let's see. Yeah, good start to the morning, I'd say. So right now we're just trying to get everything ready. Trying to get everything I need to out, and we're gonna start with the garlic smells so good. Lemon garlic turkey bowls. So we need to get this, and then we need to get our broccoli out too. So, oh, hold on, you gotta set this up as well. Roast. Okay. Nothing is in there. Cool. So what else am I looking for here? Oh, the broccoli, the frozen broccoli. So we're gonna need to have all of this stuff out. My freezer is full, which is, you know, it's always a nice little blessing there. But Yeah, I went to Costco yesterday. As I said many times before, I now have a Costco card, and I bought 5 pounds of beef, like 97.3. It's only like 24 dollars, something like that. It's pretty good in my opinion. And then I also got 12 pounds of chicken thighs, and then I got 10 pounds of chicken breast, and I should have got like 4 pounds of ground turkey, which would only been like 24 dollars, right? Versus the Jennie-O I got here, which is 2 pounds, that cost me $15. But I don't cook with turkey often, so I'm not going to really complain too much about that. But yeah, I need to get the broccoli set up, put it in a bowl, mix it around with some oil, salt, pepper, etc., etc. So I'm gonna go do that real quick. I just realized I said broccoli, and I technically do that with the broccoli too, but mostly with the potatoes is what I was referring to. So yeah, let me get to that real quick. I'm not sure how many of you guys like do this, but I feel like I'm getting really, like, not really good. I'm getting better at it when you say that. So I remember the first time I tried this, dropped a quarter of my potatoes, and I wanted to die. So salted, and then now, well, okay, so we do the same thing with the broccoli, except instead of pouring some oil, we just spray it down, stuff like that. So we're gonna use one of the smaller containers. We're probably gonna use 2 of them with the amount of broccoli I have, so, but we'll see. Let's just figure things out right now. Cool, so we have everything in the oven cooking now. So now we're gonna get ready for the next parts. We probably won't be cooking right away. After the 10-minute mark, I have to bring out the potatoes and flip them. So I'm gonna make sure I'm able to do that. And then they roast in there for another 10 minutes and stuff. So total 20 minutes. Once the broccoli's in there, you don't touch that. Just let that do its thing. The potatoes, you just have to flip it. But I do need to measure out my rice. So we're looking at 900 grams. I'm trying to think, did I agree to put that within the recipe itself, or did I think about putting another amount in there? Because the way I would increase calories is by increasing the rice, more or less. 1200. So I'm doing 1200 grams of rice is kind of what my ideal is. So get a little plate out. Oops. Let's go ahead and measure this out. I don't think I'm going to need, well, just in case, we'll keep that out for right now. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So, oops. It's important to measure things out. So like I said, I'll be doing 1200 grams, and we'll start once we finish flipping over the potatoes and stuff. So I'm just going over some recipe stuff, and I thought this was 2 pounds. This is 3 pounds. So I don't really cook a lot with turkey. That's not really a dish that happens a lot for me. So what I think I'm gonna do is just actually put all the turkey in there. So, because it requires 6 pounds of turkey, right? So 3 pounds of the 85-15, 3 pounds of the 97.3, and then I'll do another 1 pound of this 97.3 that I have here that I've had for a little bit of time now. I don't cook too much with turkey, and on top of that, the fridge is already pretty full. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use all of that for this dish, which is fine. So we upped the amount of lemon juice we have a little bit. The amount of rice we have should be actually pretty good at this point then. So we're gonna be fine with the amount of garlic we have. We don't need to worry too much about that. And yeah, so just waiting for this to get ready to flip. Once we flip it, then we'll start cooking. All right, and remember the other thing too is that when you're flipping stuff, like, you don't only get so well, but I like to do my best. When you're cooking with the amount of food I'm cooking with, which granted isn't as much as it can be, you know, just be warned that you're not going to get the best browning at times. So, you know, just accept that for what it is and just make sure everything is cooked. So, is it still going to taste good? In my opinion, absolutely. Now, will it have the maximum flavor content? Probably not, but you know, it is what it is. Nothing to complain about. And I also want to take into consideration the fact that, well, the potatoes were cold, right? Normally you would probably be cutting this fresh and putting this together, but the potatoes were cold. So anyway, put this back. The broccoli is smelling good. Another 10 minutes. It's getting a little hot in here, so I'm going to open up my little window to the balcony there, because this room can get heated very quickly. Very, very quickly. So, all right, guys, let's get started. All right, so remember, when we do have like high-fat foods like 85-15, you don't necessarily need oil. Thing is, we are using 97.3 as well. So just for the sake of making sure that that doesn't, get destroyed or like too burnt, we're gonna also put a little bit of oil too. But usually with the 85-15, more than enough oil to get cooking with that stuff. So let's move you guys to this side real quick. Alrighty, folks. So we are in it to win it now. So this is a good example of what I mean when you are cooking with a lot of meat, you have a tendency to overcrowd. So, or you're going to overcrowd. Not even so much that there's a tendency to. That's just what's going to happen. There's just no doubt about that. So, try to get optimal browning with the turkey, but understand too, it's not always going to be that same case when you're meal prepping. And at the end of the day, it's just going to taste good. But when you're meal prepping, there's kind of some sacrifices depending on how much you're going to be making. Now, you can do things in smaller batches. Definitely a much easier way. A little more time consuming. You can make less meals, meaning you're going to have less things to cook, a little less overcrowding. Not as much time consuming, but you're going to have less meals. So, like I said, I like to try to plan out for the rest of the week. Most people will try to plan out from Monday through Friday, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Some dishes I will do Monday through Friday because I know by the time I get Saturday, it's not that it's going to be spoiled, but there's going to be a little, I guess, it just isn't going to be tasting nearly as good, right? But with these dishes, I'm very comfortable with it being until Sunday if necessary. So yeah, let's let this brown for a little bit and we will come back to things. So we're going to take a little break away from the turkey right now because it's very full and it's still cooking. But the broccoli and potatoes finished. So this is how the bigger batch came out. Nice little burns on the top there, which is how it should be. And then the second one that had a little less broccoli in it came out a lot better. So all of them are pretty much nice and cooked, ready to rock. So I think next time what I'm going to do is just divide it a little bit more evenly. I wanted to see what a full, just regular amount would be to roast, and yeah, it came out good. And I think, and I could be wrong on this. This is just my theory, because here's the potatoes. So these came out pretty nicely too, but they're not as browned or burnt per se. And I put these on the highest rack. I wonder if because I'm roasting that I need to put them on a lower rack or a middle rack. But I don't know. Maybe it was too cold and there wasn't, whatever it was type thing. So that prevented the browning or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to the turkey. All right, so turkey is about 90% of the way done. One thing I did off camera was get a ladle and sort of drained out a little bit of that fat. Didn't get all of it, but we got enough in there to help it cook a little bit better. So now we are adding the garlic. And as always with garlic, it is prone to burning. So you want to make sure that when you do add this, you're kind of stirring it around a little bit and letting it go and do its thing until it becomes fragrant. So, and this is the nice part. You get to mix it around a lot with this. So just having that in there, and I like to do the 30-second rule. Usually that's when I start to smell it the most. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm starting to smell it now. So a little bit under there, but it's perfect though. So go ahead and keep that. And then I think now we're going to add the rice. Let me just double check real quick. All right. Rice is coming in. Bada bing. Okay, rice, and then our spices. So I put these all into one bowl and just kind of weighed it out so I got the right amount. It's oregano, coriander, onion powder. So, and of course we always do salt and pepper last, just to balance out the rest of the flavor in there. Ooh, come on now, there you go. Okay, and then we're gonna be bringing in our lemon zest and our lemon juice. That's a video. There we go. And last but not least, the lemon juice. I like to get that over the rice, just because the rice seems to be a little more absorbent. So, and then we will begin mixing it all together. All right, before I do that, yep, and distribute nicely. That smell of lemon's already a wonderful smell. So. This thing is getting hot already. And I think for the chili, what I'm going to do is use the smaller container, but we'll see. I just think it'd be better cooking in there. But honestly, with how much stuff we have to kind of put in there, maybe the bigger container is the way to go, actually. We'll see, we'll see. As always, this bad boy smells so good. This has become one of my more favorite dishes, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Just the lemon zest and the lemon flavor along with the smell. And I love turkey, so it is a good combination of things in my opinion. All right. Rice is mixing nicely into everything, so we can go ahead and turn that off. And now we just add in the potatoes and broccoli, and this dish is done. So, yep. Is this hot? Oh, it cooled down pretty quickly. So, dump that. Scrape some of the bottom boys off. Is this one hot? It is not. Do that there. And now with the potatoes, we're just going to kind of scoop them in there. Let's see, where is my spatula that I used previously? Right here. So we'll go ahead and scooch these boys in here. So if I try to pick it up and dump it, it's not going to work. And I'm going to be very upset when it falls. So, excellent. I feel like there's a better way, but it's okay. So let me just scoop the rest of these in here real quick. All right, so now we mix everything together. We can probably chop up some of that broccoli a little bit more, but I mean, it's already too late in my opinion. So whatever, it's no big deal, but the smaller the broccoli, the better it is. I think just because it's going to be evenly distributed more, but yeah, not a big deal. Everything's okay, and honestly, I do like broccoli, so little big chunks of it's not a big deal to me. I do wish I got a little more browning on those potatoes. I could have probably put them into the oven a little bit longer, but I feel like I would have just overcooked it at that point. So it's okay. It is a-okay. And boom. Yeah, look at that. This is coming out nicely. And I got some more tzatziki sauce. I should have bought some at Costco. I wasn't paying attention. But it's okay. I got the Open Nature one I did last time, and that one tastes really good. I like Open Nature. I think their brand's really nice. I don't know if they're like this organic brand or what, but whatever they are, feels like quality ingredients. The problem is because of that they're a little more pricey, but you know, what you're gonna do. All right, so let me see. Got a little chunk here. Nice. So it does need salt, it does need pepper. So let me just add that real quick. And then we're gonna work on the big boy chili next. So cool, we back. So I finished cleaning a little bit more stuff and then getting this pot ready nice and clean. So we are gonna use the big one again just because with the amount of stuff I have to put in here, it's probably just for the best. I think I need to drain the beans first. Hold on. All right, we're back. So beans are drying. I opened up the rest of the cans that I needed to just so I didn't have to do it like in that moment. Brought the beef out, got everything nice and ready. So measured out some dry rice too. So all that's left now is to just get cooking. Let me see how to raise that up. Well, not down. No, up. That's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. I'm not a big fan of that. There we go. That's better. We'll just keep it that way, I guess. Cool. So now we're just gonna get cooking. First things first is getting the beef nice and cooked. So let's drop this bad boy in there. Excellent, excellent. Leave that out for right now. Where's my other spoon? Beautiful. Last little bits of beef in there. So we can get everything nice and flattened out as best as I can here. Obviously a thick piece of beef right here, so try to get that nice and separated. So we'll go ahead and let that cook for a minute. I am running a little low on space. I don't think you can see it, but there is not a lot of room on the table at the moment. So and let me season some of that with some salt and pepper. There we go. And the pepper, I think I had put away. So I did. You don't need a lot right now, just get some of that stuff on there. Yada yada yada. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, put this to the side. And we'll let that cook for a minute. Let it get browned, flipping around. You know the deal. Alright, so we're making some progress. We're going to start flipping it around a little bit. There we go. Oh, I guess it could brown a little bit more on that side, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'm starting to see why that I started to cook with like lesser ingredients or like making smaller portions. It's because it can be a little troublesome, not so much with this dish particularly, like with the chili, but with the turkey bowls. It can be a little troublesome to have to cook all that because it is a slightly, in my opinion, a slightly different style of cooking in the sense that because you have so much food, you're gonna have to do things a bit differently than what the recipe is saying per se, or compromise in some areas. But nonetheless, it is still coming out tasty. So cool. We'll let that cook a little bit more. Once it's 90% of the way done, we'll start adding some more stuff. Alright, so I'd say it's about 90% of the way done. Now what we're going to do, push to the center and let all those nice juices gather to the middle. And so we'll be able to add the spices in there. So we have a mix of chili powder, smoked paprika, cumin, cayenne pepper, and pretty much that. So put that into the center there. Beautiful. Just my little thing here. We'll use this one. I did wash this, so it's probably sticking because of the water a little bit. Put it in there. Ooh. There we go. And let those spices bloom for a little bit. Maybe like 30 seconds or so. Something around that, right? So, and then we're gonna mix all that to the beef, and then we are gonna add the onions and peppers next. So where is my spoon? Let that kind of spread out a little bit more. Man, I wish there was a way for you guys to smell it. It smells pretty good. I really like when you're incorporating spices like this and letting it bloom. I feel like it comes out like a lot nicer that way. So, all right, let's go and start mixing this in. You know, this type of meat, I mean, with all the spices and stuff, I think it would just make like a really just good on its own, honestly. Like, not even with the chili, just having it like this, and maybe putting in a burrito, having it with rice, you know, some side with beans or something like that. That'd be really nice, actually. And just the way it looks, too. I love when meat has this, like, nice, darker, brownish color to it. Oh, looks so good. All right. So now, it's nice and incorporated. It is fragrant beyond belief. We're gonna add in the peppers, onions and peppers. So I made a little bit of an error. The jalapenos were supposed to be sliced. No big deal, just no big deal. Work with what you do. All right. I'm gonna mix all these bad boys in. Yum. Oh, love that. And in my personal opinion, right, if you're going to be meal prepping like a lot of meals, depending on the like pound per, you know, meat or whatever it is, I would say 4 pounds is, at least if you're using like a big pot, is the max you should really cook with, at least in the pot. Anything more than that, like you saw with the turkey, gets a little, you know, too much at times. So probably a bit better to just keep it to around 4 pounds, maybe 5, depending on what it is. Not saying you shouldn't do that, because obviously I did 6 pounds today, but it's just a bit harder. It's kind of my little preference on that. So let this cook for a minute. We'll add the potatoes and garlics in a second. All right, let's add these bad boys in. Excellent. I love the smell of garlic, y'all. I think it's, ooh, so freaking good. All right, mix this stuff together, obviously. Oh, okay. You know, now that the hours have gone back a little bit, so we have an extra hour of sleep, I think it's gonna be more beneficial. I've noticed that recently I've been really tanking on my sleep a bit more. Could be the nervousness about the competition, stresses about work, so on and so forth. So, you know how it be. But this little extra hour is going to be definitely beneficial. I'll tell you that much for sure. Cool. So, mix. Now we're going to be adding all of our tomatoes and other sauces. So, over here I have tomato sauce, and then I have petite diced tomatoes, but we'll get that in a second. So go ahead and dump all this in there. Excellent. We're not going to have room in that trash can, more than likely, but we will definitely give it the old college try. That's going to bite me in the butt, I'm pretty sure. So, diced tomatoes. Okay, add tomato sauce, diced tomatoes. Yep. Petite diced tomatoes. Excellent. Cool. Now if we can play Tetris correctly, then we should be good. Beef broth. Alright. Imagine it wasn't supposed to be beef broth. I would scream inside. No, it's beef broth, thank goodness. Pour that in there. You know what I probably could have done was get started on the egg bake at the same time, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. We can start it right now. And then what else am I missing? Is that everything? So beef broth, oh, beans, that's what it was, beans. So when do I add in the rice? Regardless, let me get the beans in there. Sweet. Doesn't seem like as much beans as I used last time. And then stir to incorporate. So When was I, what? When was I supposed to add the, hold on, give me a minute. Whatever, I'm kind of dumb. I was supposed to add the rice with the potatoes, but whatever. Just dump that in now. And then we stir to combine everything. Excellent. Make sure everything gets nice and mixed in there. Okay. Especially since the rice didn't really go in at the time it should have, like technically should have, but no big deal. Beautiful. Okay, now let's bring this bad boy to a boil, and then we shall let it simmer for a minute. All right, so this is now at a light boil, I'd say. Yeah, give that a light boil. So we're gonna put the lid on, put it to medium low, which in this case seems to be a little pretty low, and we'll let that be on a timer for 30 minutes. So while that's going on, I'll go ahead and prep the ham and egg bake. I need to charge this thing, so I'm not really gonna be recording it. And I feel like you guys already know I've done that a few times already as it is. So yeah, we will cut back to when this is more done. So see you in a minute. All right, we're back. So it's been about that 30-minute mark. I finished the sweet potato egg bake part, so it's gonna be in there. So I'll put this just up here for now. So that's nice and simmering. So at this point, it's pretty much done. Seems a little too soupy for me, so I'll probably let it simmer until things are pretty good. But let me see if I can find some rice and potatoes in there real quick. Some potatoes. Put this on here. Okay. Potatoes are soft, and the rice is cooked. You know what it is? I think I just gotta mix it. So, give that a nice mix. Yeah, we'll take it. Want it to be a little more thicker personally. So what I'm gonna do is let it simmer for maybe another 5-10 minutes. Let's get that a little bit thicker than what we did last time. I don't know why this came out so much more soupier, but no big deal. So just close the lid up, put that on a low fire, and we'll be back in like another 5-10 minutes. All right, we're back. So we did it for 8 minutes. I think that should be fine enough, honestly. Should be good. Yeah, we ball. It's good. I'll take it. Cool. So the chili is done. Now all that's left to do is the cornbread, but we'll do that after we finish the little egg bake here. So for right now, we'll let this kind of just cool off a little bit. But we are going to taste test per usual. So get a little bit of that. A little bit of that. Oops. Work with me. Work with me. Okay. Oh, it's nice. That came out real good. There's a little more heat to that, which is nice. Does need some salt and pepper. Probably not much though. Probably not much. So all in all, I'd say the recipes came out pretty solid today. Well, we'll see how the egg bake comes out with that weird ass potato that I got yesterday. Still don't really know how to identify it, but I'm sure it's fine. It'll taste good, but we really won't know how that one tastes until tomorrow, since I don't really eat that until, you know, the day I actually need it. But today was a great meal prep. It is now 7:21, and I'd say we did good on that time. Started at what, 4 o'clock, somewhere around that, more or less, and then finished probably 4, 6, like 3 hours later. Probably should have got a bean. Should have got the meat or something like that. Let's see. little bit more salt. So I'm gonna finish that up with a little bit more salt, and we'll go ahead and get to the presentation of all the meals. So see you guys in, honestly, probably about 30 minutes because I gotta get this done. May have the cornbread in there, may have not. We'll see. Oh, didn't see you there. I'm messing around. Okay, so we're done. Officially done. Cornbread is done. I want to try the cornbread. I always like to try the cornbread just to make sure it's going well. I only needed 7. I made 3, 6, 9, 11. So, he insert joke. Let's see. So these just came out. There you go. Not bad. And it came out really nicely. I'll never forget my very first attempt at these. Put way too much salt. Became way too salty. Way too salty. But granted, I actually kind of liked it. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was really good. To me. Now understand, I like salt. A lot. So, of course I was going to like it. But anyway, let's finish this up real quick. We are done. So, let's go and get through all the meals. First things first, we are doing it a bit differently this week in the sense that we're not having a protein oatmeal bake. We are having the sweet potato, ham, and egg cheese bake. Now, granted, I don't know what potato I used, and I normally do technically like 2 servings, right? Or like where it's gonna make 2 big bakes, but I'll just make 1 mega bake. So this is going to be a little bit less calories than what you've seen in the past, which is the point. And so that's in part just because I've said it many times with comp coming soon. I just want to be at maintenance, not eating too much, not eating too little. Woke up 0.2 pounds less today, which is to be kind of expected. And so for lunch, we're going to have the lemon garlic turkey bowls once again. And these are always really good. Going to have that with a little side of tzatziki sauce, if that's how you say it. And I'll be having that for dinner as well. So that's going to be my lunch, and that's going to be my dinner. And we made enough to get through the whole week. We have 14 beautiful meals right here. 15, but that last one's going to go to my friend. And I also did make the big boy chili, as you see, wonderfully made right here. I put some cheese on top that's already a little melting a bit. And it's going to go with a little dollop of light sour cream or sour cream, whatever you prefer. And it's going to go with the cornbread over there. So let me go ahead and grab that. Make sure I can grab it without burning myself. So all nutrition stuff will be on the screen as always. So this is what I'll be having with this for my pre-workout meal. And I'm very excited for that. I do enjoy the chili and I do enjoy the cornbread. So all in all, I'd say this was a great day. And yeah, we'll be definitely feeling fueled up. So this is 950 grams. That's like a little close to 2 pounds of food, which these bulking meals, that's just how they go. And I love that. I really do love that. So for some people that can be a bit difficult, completely understandable, right? Sometimes for people it's hard to eat a lot of meals. And a way around that is to eat a bunch of smaller meals throughout the day or to have like one bigger meal like I like to do here. So really it's up to your preference on how you want to do it. But to me, having a bigger meal like that makes me feel more full. By the time I get to the gym to do my workout, a lot of it's gone through my stomach, digested, whatever it may need to be. And I feel ready to rock for the gym. So all in all, great time. Definitely will be incorporating that chili more. And yeah, we'll probably be doing the ham bulker in a couple weeks. Next week, since it's going to be more of a rest one, since that's the week of the competition, I'm probably just going to do pretty low calorie like preps since I'm not going to be working out as much. So we'll see how that goes. But with that said, guys, that's pretty much it for today. I hope this was a better meal prep all around, truthfully. A bit shorter compared to last time. And I hope you have a great Sunday. I hope you had a great weekend. And tomorrow's Monday. Let's take another week. I know you guys can do it. We do it each and every week. So I will see you guys tomorrow.